This is Ben, Liam and Bell on Nova.
G'day there, podcaster.
Oh, we started a new club in this particular episode, which is exciting. Also, I know people enjoyed last week when we killed off a song. It's a new thing we do when it doesn't get picked for aiders in the 610 quiz. Spoiler alert, a song does get killed in this episode.
Yes, so all that and more to look out for. Also, I want to give a little shout out to a little bonus episode we're doing today.
Yes, it's very much a passion interview for me.
We did a few of those last year and maybe one or two this year so far. But
Steve-O was one.
Steve-O was one this year. Last year it was Tiger Mum.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I spoke to Unlisted Leaf.
Yes, the Pokemon guy.
Pokemon guy from Adelaide.
You had like a random June Rats chat, didn't you?
Yes,
yeah.
Yep.
So sometimes if there's an interview we really want to do because we are passionate about it, but it doesn't quite belong on the show because it's a little bit too niche, we'll still do it, but it would just be a special podcast.
I am obsessed with the Mighty Boosh. Like, I must admit, I haven't watched it in a while, but it was literally like my show, growing up, and I feel like it actually changed the course of my life.
I also reckon Mighty Boosh was important in our relationship, Liam, because early days, and we can even talk about this in the interview, but early days, you and I bonded in the first couple of days of knowing each other because I realised you like Mighty Boosh, and definitely you like it more than I do, but growing up, I really liked Mighty Boosh. My brother liked it, and I watched his DVD collection, and I thought it was a super weird niche show that nobody else liked, and then when I knew that you liked it, I was like, oh my God, you like Mighty Boosh.
I liked it to the extent that I was literally pretty much trying to emulate Noel Fielding for the first few years of my radio life, which is kind of cringy, but he's probably my favourite person on earth. We're not speaking to him. Couldn't get him. We do have a chat with Dave Brown, who played Bolo in the show.
Yep.
If you're a fan of the Mighty Boosh, it's pretty niche.
Belle, are you going to be in the chat or are you going to bow out?
I think it's just better if you guys just...
It was funny when you were like, what's this about? And I'm like, you just can't explain it.
No, Belle, you said, what's Mighty Boosh about? And we laughed because you can't really explain it.
It's absurd. It's absurd.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'll leave you to have the passion. Because I feel like I would just be stealing your time.
Enjoy this normal episode. And if you're a fan of the show, The Mighty Boosh, check out our chat with Dave Brown.
The happiest suburb in Melbourne has been revealed.
Congratulations, Tarneit. If you live in Tarneit, it's the happiest suburb in Melbourne. Sorry, Hoppers Crossing. Very close.
They come second.
No, they're just next to Tarneit.
Oh.
Yeah. So Werribee, you're sort of close, but, you're not super happy. I mean, you're not as happy as they are in Tarneit.
Yeah.
It's always weird, though. You see these stories and you're like, is it a slow news day? Are they just saying that?
Yeah.
How can one area be so much happier than another?
A few pamphlets and letterboxes.
Yeah.
Are you happy or not? Some people said, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. And, we have journalistic integrity here on the Ben, Liam and Bell Breakfast Show. Mm-hmm. And when we see things in papers, we question it.
Yeah. We don't take anything we see in print media for gospel at all.
You don't take anyone's word for it. Jack Nyhoff's reading the news. I only believe half that stuff. No, I'm questioning it all. Anyway, we thought, okay, well, why not call around Tarneit and just check ourselves to see if people are actually happy there.
Hello.
Oh, hello, sir. You're a Tarneit resident?
Speaking.
You feeling happy today?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, very.
Oh, well, you're living in the happiest place in Melbourne, so, I mean, that checks out.
Yeah.
Good stuff, sir. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day.
Hello.
Oh, g'day there. Are you in Tarneit?
Yes, I'm in Tarneit.
Are you happy?
Yes, I'm happy. Sorry, just a bit busy.
Oh, what are you up to?
Just at a medical appointment.
Oh, I'll let you go.
It's okay. Thank you.
No worries, bye.
Even in the face of a medical emergency, these Tarneit residents seem pretty happy. I mean, this could work out really bad for her. Who knows? She could be battling some horrible disease or, have some sort of problem with her leg, but still pretty happy.
Pretty happy.
Yeah. This is all checking out. I'm seeing why people love it so much.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Do you live in Tarneit?
Yes, I do.
Are you happy?
I certainly am.
Well, that's magnificent to hear. You have a brilliant day. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Brief, polite, but undeniably happy. There was not a sense that I got from that man that he wasn't anything but really happy.
Hello.
If you're from Tarneit and you're happy, clap your hands.
What?
If you're from Tarneit and you're happy, clap your hands. If you're from Tarneit and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're from the happiest suburb in Melbourne, clap your hands. Yay! What's your name, friend?
It's Abby. Is this Will and Woody?
God damn it.
Abby, unfortunately, it's Ben, Liam and Bell from Nova 100. You heard of them before?
Yeah.
Yeah, different
not
one.
your favourite
different
show.
one.
Sorry to let you
You're
down.
more of a Kiss, Will and Woody listener, are you?
Yeah, I am. Sorry.
Would you consider switching over?
Yeah, of course.
All right, bloody oath. Well, you're on now, so tell your friends.
All right, sick. I will.
Yeah, take it easy.
Bye.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, bit embarrassing for us, but she did sound happy. Is this Will and Woody? We should have said yeah. She probably would have been happier.
Will and Woody. Oh, sorry. Ben, Liam and Bell on Nova. For great deals and cheeky getaways, whatif.com has just the place.
A winter hideaway is great, but bring on spring.
Jump on the What If app to book hotels, apartments, holiday rentals and more.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
Well, good morning, Melbourne. I always love when I walk into the studio and I can see somebody's already called up the show.
Oh, a keen bean. Emily in Bacchus Marsh, what have you called for?
Hi, I've called for the quiz.
Oh, the 610 quiz.
Cool.
I love an eager beaver.
Yeah, so obviously you've heard we're giving away tickets to the Meg 2. Is that why you're so eager?
Oh, could be one of the possibilities.
What were you up to, Emily, this morning?
I was on my way back from the gym.
Nice.
Oh, very
Look
good.
at you. Carpe diem. Seize the day. It's 6:05. You've already been to the gym. You're calling up before you've even asked. I love this.
Well, Emily, because you're already on the show, if you can stick around for one song, you can be the first person to play the quiz this morning, okay?
Oh, that would be awesome. Thanks,
All right,
guys.
awesome. Hang there. If you want to play the 610 quiz this morning as well, 13 24 10, give us a buzz right now. We're going to play after Taylor Swift, Cruel Summer. I'd love to make it a tradition where we start every show with a keen bean. Like
That's a big ask.
Well, yeah, but if you can hear the show's about to start, if you call 13 24 10, we'll put you straight to air as the show's keen bean.
We're usually, to be honest, we're usually in the studio just waiting.
maybe
losers.
maybe we could call it the Beaver Club.
Yeah, because you're
Eager beaver.
eager beaver.
Yeah. So
yeah, if we should get shirts made up that say like I'm the beaver or something.
Yeah.
You're the Bean and Beaver Club.
Yeah.
It's 610. Hallelujah, it's 610.
we do this at this time every morning. 5 questions in front of us. Emily in Bacchus Marsh called through before you started the show today. So she is in the Eager Beaver Club. You're Beaver 1, just if anyone asks. We'll get some keychains made up. This is very on the fly, by the way. Anyway, the new Bachelor Mansion is on a random street in Brighton. What was Osher Günsberg's old name? Do you remember he changed it? He's definitely like Osher from The Bachelor now, but when he was on Australian Idol, he was known as something
It was
different.
James Matheson and
I don't know.
Emily.
No, Emily.
You waited on hold for
I know.
like 7
You
minutes.
know what? Like,
you can't just...
we'll move on, but we'll come back to you if anyone gets the question wrong.
Yep.
Just 'cause
Don't
we
go
like
anywhere,
you.
okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Peter, do you know what Osher Günsberg used to go by?
I do, but I am an eager beaver.
Oh, you also called through.
But if you want to be an eager beaver,
Yeah.
Pete, you got to come on at 6 a.m.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I know,
I'm
you
sorry.
I mean, you sound like a keen bean, but maybe not an eager beaver. So that's
I'm sorry, Peter.
There is a little bit of a difference. You've got to call up like as we're starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then you can be in the Beaver Club.
Yep.
Too.
I'm sorry, Peter. I liked your attitude.
yeah, it's all right, mate. Anyway, do you have the answer for us?
Andy G, I think.
Andrew G, but yeah, it's close enough. Hey, the Matildas play Nigeria in their second World Cup game tonight. In which country is the Women's World Cup currently being held?
Australia.
That's right in our backyards. 2 Melbourne Macca's workers have gone viral for revealing the weirdest orders they get, including cheeseburgers with no cheese. Which item from the Macca's menu can you order in packs of 3, 6, 10, or even 40 if you're a hungry beaver?
That'd be the McNug.
Oh,
It would be the McNugs.
It's been a while since I've had a nuggie.
Yeah,
Tell you what. When was your last nug, Bell?
probably last night.
Screw you, Ben. Years ago. Years ago.
Got it, Peter.
It's all right, Belle. We know you love a cheeky meat pie.
Don't, Peter.
No, that's, when she gets on the yellow Glen, she's partial to a nugget.
Yellow Glen. I'm not.
Might have to bust open the 40-pack, get some sweet and sour. Anyway, and Juliet the musical is ending its run in Melbourne this weekend, Peter. Who wrote Romeo and Juliet?
Shakespeare.
It was. Apparently, aliens are real. Bit of good news. According to a former US intelligence officer. This is big news today. Can you finish these lyrics?
Nobody believes me.
Nice.
Yes, Peter.
I tell you what, Peter, you've got the right attitude
Yes.
to be an eager beaver. You just
have to call through super duper early
I feel
tomorrow.
bad for Emily now, though, because she was on hold and she only got one question.
We still had a bit of time with her.
Peter, you also get to choose the next song we play this morning. So, do you want to hear Delta Goodrum?
Or would you like to hear Galantis?
Keeping in mind, we have said if Galantis doesn't get picked this morning, it is going to be put down. So the choice is yours, Peter. Do you want to hear Delta Goodrum or Galantis?
Oh, I kind of want to hear Galantis, but at the same time, Delta Goodrum.
Yeah, good man, Peter.
All right. We're going to roll out the tarp for Galantis next. I mean, no one's picked it in a week, which is the rule. We got to get rid of it.
Yep.
I know I can be a little stubborn sometimes. You might say a little righteous and too proud.
Whenever a song isn't picked for a week, it's obviously a dud song. It sucks. So we have to kill it off. And I mean, Ben, you were using a handgun for a while, and we thought that was a bit barbaric. So
Ben!
Yeah, so we've sort of put that away. We don't really use that anymore.
Yeah. And I take that feedback on board.
Yeah.
And I only use that if I absolutely need to.
I think last week...
What did you need to just then?
Well, I think people needed to know I had it.
Yeah. Fergie... That's more of an automatic, really, isn't it? That's so he keeps that strapped to his belt, but he does have the other one around his waist. But yeah, last week Fergie went on for a week, so it was quite elaborate. There was a trapdoor and some hungry crocodiles.
Yep.
You can even actually watch us putting her to rest on
that's
the
true.
Ben Lehman Bell Instagram.
You can. But obviously, we knew Galantis would probably have its day, sort of writing was on the wall. No one really likes peanut butter jelly. And I have made a request, Ben, for you to arrange an A-bomb.
Yep.
Because I saw Oppenheimer over the weekend, and I think it's sort of semi-topical this week.
You're in an A-bomb mood, I get it.
I've been researching them a lot this week, and the sheer power of them. Yeah.
And look, it took billions of dollars to research and develop this weapon.
Over years.
Obviously, technology's gotten better, and I still think you got to appreciate the classics, Bill. And so I have organised an A-bomb.
Should I be evacuating the studio?
I think just make sure you put your world goggles on.
Yeah. They actually can really hurt your eyes.
Because this one's going to get a little crazy.
Okay.
Are we all ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Spread it like.
Clear out, guys.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Well, there's no coming back from that. That's a Hollywood scale explosion, isn't it? That's Nolan-esque.
It's really sad.
Oh,
It's
no.
really real.
Oh God.
It's not.
Oh no. Galantis, please. We didn't want to have to do this.
Spread it like.
I feel like there's a theme where no matter how elaborate, they seem to survive, and then we have to revert back to Old Faithful. But there you go. Galantis, that's we've all had our fun.
Brown bread. Belle and Liam, how do you feel about this? Kristen Bell is letting her kids drink beer.
What?
How old are her kids?
They're quite young, but it's non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, okay. Right.
So does that change it? Obviously, it does a little bit.
So they're like 10.
Yep.
But I mean,
they're 8 and 9.
It feels weird, but I suppose it's a non-alcoholic beer, right? I mean, it's non-alcoholic. It's the same as orange juice.
So she was on the Kelly Clarkson show, and she admitted that, she lets her 2 kids, Delta, who's 8, and Lincoln, who's 9, drink non-alcoholic beer.
Because this is because she's like Sarah Marshall, and forgetting Sarah Marshall, and she's isn't she with that other celebrity like Dax Shepard, who's in Zathura?
Mm-hmm.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in Zathura.
Yeah, right. No, and they have done some wild things in the past, but I think, it's non-alcoholic, and Liam, I wouldn't say it's the same as juice, but yes, it is just a drink.
It is the same as
but
juice.
Is it training them to think that it's fine and that it's normal, and that so when they grow up they just down beers all the time?
But here's the deal, my parents didn't have a problem with alcohol, but they certainly drank. So of course you're like, I want to have a beer like Dad, and I'm going to be drinking beers when I have kids someday. So do you know what I mean?
If you're going to drink in front of your kids, there's no different than them having a non-alcoholic beer, because they're just going to see what you do and just copy you.
True. Ben, you're about to become a dad any day now. What's your plan when your kid's 13, 14? If you're cooking dinner or making a barbecue and you're having a beer, what do you have you thought about that?
I vividly remember my first beer was when I was probably about 13, and my mum and dad, they don't drink, so they're not a drinking family at all. They're not against drinking, they just didn't drink.
Yeah.
And I remember once there was a beer in the fridge. I think my older brother might have put it in there, and I remember saying to my dad, "Dad, can I drink that?" And he said, "Yeah, sure, mate," because he knew I'd hate it. And he went, "Yeah, mate, go for it." So I cracked it, had a mouthful, and I spat it out. I thought it was the grossest thing I've ever drank. And then I didn't want to touch another drink until I was way older, until I was going to parties and stuff like that.
I wish, I didn't enjoy beer until I was probably, honestly, 21. And, you can see in your stomach when you start enjoying beer. I wish I didn't like it. But, yeah, that surprises me that an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old would, even though it's alcohol-free, would be like, oh, yeah, I enjoy the taste. Because you just don't. I feel like your palate's not developed. And, even I can remember, wanting to drink, ginger beer, even though I didn't like that taste. But just so it was yeah, it's a beer. It's pretty cool. But I can remember, going to school, the first sort of time, we went around to, a mate's house, and it was someone's got some Tui's Extra Dry. We've got a carton of Ted's. And everyone was, drinking warm beers, and I can remember walking around this house, pouring some of it into the bush, and just pretending I was drinking it. Yeah, this is great, guys. To fit in, you know what I mean?
Such a you thing.
I know. People wow, I'm super drunk. I've had 3 sips of a Ted. Oh, I might act up. I'm getting a little crunk here. You boys reckon we should hit the club?
Belle, do you remember your first drink?
I remember my first. Yeah, but it was orange juice. I remember my friend made me orange juice, and she was like, "I'll make you a drink," but you don't know what the ratio should be of spirit and juice at that point. It was about 80% spirit. She basically made a mimosa, but with vodka instead of sparkling, and then just did a dash of orange juice. And I thought that was normal, and I was like, okay. And I did what you did, Liam, and I started tipping it out into here and there. But yeah, it was, I was a lot older. I was, I don't know, I grew up in a house where my mum never really drank alcohol. She never had, not even a wine or anything. So we grew up very much, alcohol just wasn't present in our life.
Yeah.
So when I did, I didn't know what was right and wrong.
Yeah, totally. Do you remember your first drink, 13, 24, 10? How young were you?
No, we're not doing.
Don't bring age into it. But yeah,
18 and older. Hey,
maybe you were a bit like us, and you sort of obviously you're hating it.
Yeah,
and you pretended to go along with it, or maybe it was just a terrible experience, and you're like, okay, I'm not going to do this again for another 4 or 5 years.
Luke in Kilmore, good morning. Tell us about your first experience.
Morning, guys. I was 15, and it was my first high school party that I was invited to, and I wasn't sure what I was going to drink. I was reading an adult magazine, so FHM, and there was an ad for Hennessy Cognac. Got to a party for some Hennessy Cognac.
Yeah.
It tastes revolting.
Yeah. Well, obviously. Oh, mate, you would have set the party alight coming in with your porno mags and your Henny. Oh, dude, you seen what's in Luke's backpack? Check it out.
Actually, to be honest, you've reminded me like of a memory I had. I think one of my early drinks would have been like sherry. Because we're at our grandparents and we were all like sitting around and they're like, have a sip of sherry. And I was like, ooh. And you look back and you go,
You want to try some of Dad's Cinzano? No, I don't. Ben and Belle, I may need to be censored for the story I'm about to tell. Is that okay, Ben?
Yeah, I can manage that.
I feel like it's just, I'm going to be able to get the story across better if I use some expletives.
How rude is the word?
Just a bit of effing and jeffing.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Nothing too crazy.
Yep.
But just, don't slip up, okay? Just be mindful.
Gotcha.
So, I've got a really noisy neighbour. So, my neighbours either side of me, they're great. They're cool. But the dude behind me is a nightmare. And I've actually never seen him before. I've certainly heard him. But I'd imagine he wears chesty Bond singlets, dog tags, like unironically, possibly flapper shorts and explorer socks with sneakers.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I got the picture of
Yeah.
him.
I'd also wager he drinks a lot of Monster Energy drink, and his name is probably Kyle. It's most likely Kyle. He's a gamer guy, so I've gathered. And I think he's most likely playing COD, like Call of Duty. You only hear him because he's got a headset on. So I think he lives by himself, but he has a headset, so obviously all the war sounds are very loud in his ears.
Right.
And then he's very loud in the real world. And obviously, because he gets quite sweaty in there, he likes to have his windows all completely open. And that's like literally next to my lounge room.
Yep.
And so I'm dealing with this every night, all day and night. I don't think he has a job. Like, he's always doing this. Unless he like works from home or something. I mean, I don't think his job is playing COD, but he obviously has like a lot of anger issues when he's playing this game. Like, you hear him raging. Like, last night I heard him, I'm pretty sure he was like maybe like punching a hole through drywall.
What? Come on!
And you just always hear like, dude, like out of nowhere. It sort of echoes across the neighborhood.
Yeah.
One's coming, or this is a classic, this game! And I'm like, if you hate it so much, like, stop playing. Go for a walk the dog or something. I don't know. Watch a movie. Dude.
Maybe he is a professional gamer.
Well, yeah,
Maybe this is the high stakes.
He talks about awareness a lot, so I'm assuming this is like with his... Is that a thing, Ben? I mean, Ben plays PlayStation games, so...
Yeah, it sounds like COD.
Yeah. So he's like, you have no awareness, Tony! Where's your awareness? I'm assuming they all like log on together, and they're, these other guys he's playing with are screaming, annoying other people in their neighborhoods as well. He seems to have an issue with his controller at the moment, because he's always like, I pressed it! Is being nerfed a thing?
Yeah.
He's like, you nerfed me, you dog! Yeah. He said my favourite thing ever last night, which I don't even really understand. we were watching a movie, and there was like a quiet bit in it, and I just heard like clearly through, like, we had the screen door closed, and I could still hear, Nathan! You're a bullet sponge! I don't even know what that means.
13-24-10. Should you still follow your ex on socials? Now, it's an area that some people might find a bit touchy. It depends if you obviously, you had an amicable breakup or not. Should you still follow your ex on socials? The reason that I want to talk about this is actually a few days ago we had the lovely Anita call into the show. She was actually just talking about something completely different, but she did let slip on air that her partner still follows his ex. And every time that this ex posts something online, her partner was liking it, and that really frustrated her.
Gave her the grumps.
Yeah.
The like is the extra step in that as well, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, totally.
Like, my immediate take, I don't know where you stand, Ben and Bell, but I'm like, yeah, you can follow them, but, like, don't interact.
Yeah, but then what's the point of following them?
Well,
you just keeping an eye on them?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, I would say clean break. I would say if you've broken up with someone, if they're no longer in your life, you don't need to follow them on socials. I think if you still maybe worked with them, or if they still were a part of your life and you were actually still friends, then yeah, you can still follow them. But if they were just an ex and they're no longer in your life, why do you still follow them?
See, yeah, I get that, Ben, but for me, I think when you're in a relationship with someone, it's such a big part of your life. Even if it is for only a year or whatever, that they're so in your life, and then to just cut them out and just burn that bridge like it's nothing is really hard.
That's no different though than you having photos of exes up on your wall when you get home and go, well, why is it a photo of the ex? Well, because they're in my life. They were a big part of my life.
No, that's different.
Why is that different?
Because that's like in your face.
I would say Facebook's more in your face than the wall.
I would say though, sometimes unless you're doing a clean out, like I mean, I follow people like I played soccer with in under 15s. I'm like, I'll never see them again. But I don't know even, you know what I mean? Like it's just like.
You still follow them?
Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah, there's lots of people that you just sort of like you became Facebook friends years ago, or you followed on Instagram when you first got it in like 2012, and then they're just there, I suppose.
Totally, 100% agree. But then I think if you are doing the clean out and you're scrolling through and going like, gone, keep them, gone, and then you get to the ex and you go, I'll keep them, that seems a bit sus to me.
I think give it time. Like if you've been apart for like 5 years, you probably don't have the same care factor anymore than just when you broke up. But I don't know, if I saw one of my exes got engaged, I'd still be like, oh, they got engaged. Like,
would you comment, congratulations?
I probably would.
Oh.
No, but you're only following them because you want to see what's going on in their life, not because
I suppose there's a part of you
that,
that's just curious. Maybe you even want their life to be looking terrible.
Oh,
that's the thing, yeah.
We're all cynics. We all want other people to fail.
Like, ooh, why'd you cut your hair like that?
Well,
Yuck.
what I will say is that I like a few of my exes still follow me, and like we don't interact or anything. But if I put a story up, sometimes I'll see that they look at it, and I'm just like, keeping an eye.
Isn't it when you got engaged, Bill, as of like 3 weeks ago now, didn't your followers go down by like 40 people?
Yeah, that was a weird realization when that happened. I literally posted that I got engaged, and within 12 hours, I lost like 40-something followers.
That's saying something.
I like to think there might have been
a piece of meat?
Some Nova 100 listeners going, damn. I'll have to flick stations and unfollow.
Laura joins us now in Taylor's Lakes. Good morning. Should you unfollow your exes on socials?
No. So I am firmly against following exes on socials. And my partner doesn't follow their ex on socials. However, his whole family follows their ex on socials and interacts with them.
Oh, so your partner's family still follow the ex?
Yes, and they like...
Okay. But then what will happen there, though? You might seem a little crazy if you go to like the mum and the dad and the brother and sister and say, you got to stop unfollowing her.
Unfollow her!
Nah, you know what, Laura?
Say whatsoever.
Yeah.
Laura, I am actually in your partner situation. So my dear mother still follows one of my exes, and she always is like, "Oh, did you see what he did?" And like, "Oh, did you see what he's up to?" And still messages him
and that's what
regularly.
they do. I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. Like, don't tell me.
Laura, thank you very much for getting involved. We do appreciate it. If you have got an opinion, 13 24 10 is our number.
Jessica in Sunbury, good morning. Do you think you should unfollow your ex on socials?
Good morning. No.
Okay, why?
I've been with my partner for 6 years, and kind of in the first year or year and a half, he was getting messages from his ex on Instagram and Snapchat, and didn't actually realise until it happened. And she kind of was a bit still into him, and kind of we get into arguments, made me feeling really insecure, and it took me a while to be able to trust that with him. It was just, he was a typical boy and completely forgot that he even
Jess,
had her.
I think that's a whole different kettle of fish though, because that's actively messaging and interacting as well. That's not just following.
Yeah.
Do you see that's a different thing?
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. When there's interaction there, it's like you got to bar them for sure.
Yeah. That's just not keeping an eye on. That's actually keeping them there.
Yeah.
Oh, Jess, I'm sorry that happened.
Different story there. Ruby in Altona Meadows. What do you think? Should you unfollow the ex?
Hi, guys. No, I don't think you should. Like, you should be happy for them, absolutely. But I have one ex who blocked me on absolutely everything. So I check up on him from my cat's Instagram profile.
So it's like Mrs. Mittens has watched your story again.
The old log into the other account. I may have logged into the Ben Liam account.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious if the Ben Liam and Bell account's looking at your exes. I wonder who this could be. Must be that Ben Harvey checking me out.
So, Ruby, you are broken up with this person, but you're still wanting to keep across what they're up to.
Yeah, because, it was a bad breakup. He was really upset about it, and I just like to keep tabs, make sure his mental health is okay.
Guardian angel.
And he's like, wow, Ruby's cat keeps messaging me.
I didn't know. This cat is so smart. I didn't know it could Snapchat me all the time. VM in Doncaster, what do you think? Should you unfollow your ex?
No, mate, definitely not. I don't reckon you should.
Yeah, right. You're keeping that line there.
No, not keeping the line there. It's actually a pretty funny story, but I won't go into it. But it was a pretty humorous breakup.
Guys, I got a great story, but I won't tell you.
It's a bit of a D tease, isn't it? You sort of, we want it.
I got the
radio,
best story, but you're never going to hear it.
Oh,
guys.
you know what? I'm going to go call up the Fox and tell them. I'm going to hang up right now, and I'm going to call another station, and I'm going to tell it on their show.
Let's hear it, man. What happened?
Well, he's not going to tell us.
Well, yeah. So we weren't together for too long, but essentially when we split up, she moved on with one of my best mates at the time. And so I moved on with someone else, and now me and my current partner sort of, every time they post something on Instagram, we have a good laugh over it and just always, have a little chuckle, which is pretty funny.
Okay.
But,
so you always use that as like a bonding experience.
Oh, yeah, no. The sole reason that me and my current partner got together was because of how big of a deal my ex made it.
I get it.
And all the mates,
And now
the bonding experience.
Yeah. Now you can share like screenshots and text your current partner and be like, "Oh my god, how ugly are her shoes?" Like, haha. Like, oh my god, that guy, he's so gross looking. Yeah. No, that's good.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, they wronged you. As they should. They should be. You should be able to chat behind their back.
Well, Vham, how about you take your current partner to go see The Meg 2, The Trench?
Oh, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Good stuff, mate.
The Meg 2, why not?
Stories like that will send you right along to see 70-foot prehistoric sharks in IMAX.
Tonight, make sure you don the green and gold World Cup for Matilda's match 2.
Yes, Nigeria tonight. I got the Matilda's kit from the last World Cup, and I'm glad I'm just watching it at home, because let me tell you, it's a little tight around the midriff. Daddy's put on some kgs in the last 4 years.
Good morning, Melbourne, and to our new alien overlords. Praise be to Xenu.
Oh, you can do that Star Trek thing with your hand.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
Oh, I feel so left out.
What's wrong with you?
No,
I've never coordinated.
I've never been able to get the pinky stuck with the ring finger.
You look so funny.
Literally everybody within eyeshot of me, like 6 people, can all do it except for Liam.
Oh, well,
You just put your hand on
maybe
me.
our alien overlords will feel sorry for me that I can't do the greeting, and they'll let me live.
You're the alien.
So this is a crazy story, and I think because it involves aliens, everyone kind of ignores it because they think, oh, it's just another, crazy person with a tinfoil hat talking about something they saw out in a paddock. But this is supposedly all very legit. So there's a congressional hearing over in America, and there's a guy. The guy at the head of all this is called David. I don't know how to say his last name. I think it's Grunch. David Grunch, I'm going to say, is a former... The Grunch. We'll look out, the Grunch is coming.
Hate, double hate.
Aliens. No, so he's a former intelligence officer, and he's a part of this congressional hearing. And he's saying that the US government conducted a multi-decade program which collected and attempted to reverse engineer crashed UFOs. So he's just saying Area 51, 100% all true. Like, it's not a beat up, it's not make believe, it's 100% all true. This is audio from him talking at the hearing.
Biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
Non-human biologics.
So is he sort of saying that you know there might be like a piece of steel out in Nevada?
Yep.
And then they're like, oh, what's this? Is this from a plane or is it a UFO? But then there's like matter on it, like biological matter.
That doesn't match with
It's
it.
not like pork mince. It's like it's something.
Yeah. He's not saying
from
that.
a different
He's not saying
world.
there was a dead alien in there. He's just saying there was biologic. So it's something that wasn't from our world on a UFO.
That's cool, isn't it?
So cool.
We've cooked up this idea of an alien that we think it's like the cartoons and everything, but absolutely there is life, there is other matter out there. We are so tiny. We are a tiny, tiny, tiny speck.
Have you heard the theory that when they first found aliens in, say, like the 40s, they knew the world couldn't handle it? So what they did was, they reckon aliens do look like cartoon aliens. So what they did, that was what alien they found. So then they drip fed it to us in cartoons and movies, so that when they do come, we go, "That's an alien! I knew what it looked like from the cartoons."
No. So the other, like, I believe, yes, we are so tiny that, of course, there's other life out there looking at the universe, but also we're so tiny in the timeline of life as well and the universe that I think there's been heaps of things around before us, and there will be heaps after. We don't even matter.
You know, there's like believing in like werewolves, and then there's believing in like aliens. I think it's actually like, I don't think it's crazy to say that, like, yeah, there's definitely other life out there.
Absolutely.
And perhaps if you've witnessed it, you could call us on 13 24 10.
If you saw a UFO, we'll probably believe you.
Yeah, we will. We're not going to poo-poo anything. We're very open to the idea of extraterrestrials.
We'll take UFOs or just flat out aliens. Like if you just saw something you couldn't explain.
If you saw something a bit sus, we'll probably take that.
Yep.
Yeah. Some biological matter.
Yep.
That seemed otherworldly.
You are no longer shunned to the shadows if you have an alien story. This is the home for you on Nova. 13 24 10 is our number. If you saw an alien or a UFO, we would love for you to give us a buzz on 13 24 10.
Karen, in Dalesford, you saw a UFO.
Well, we think we did.
What happened? Tell us the story.
My husband and I were camping in Canberra. Probably haven't been camping since. Sort of turned us off. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and everything was really quiet. And anyway, the next minute, our whole sort of tent lit up, and couldn't hear anything outside at all. Sort of thought it could have been a plane or something like that, or a helicopter. You normally hear them. So we sort of stuck our heads out and had a look up. And all we could see was this bright light up in the sky. Couldn't see anything else around it. So we just got back in our tent and decided to zip it up and thought, well, if they're going to take us, we'll go with the tent and whatever else we've got.
Yeah, right.
If they got you in the tractor beam.
Yeah, we thought, well, yeah, if they're going to do that.
Yeah.
You might as well have the swag.
The next day, we were so convinced that it had to be a UFO sighting.
Yeah.
So we get up the next day, we go and looking at every paper, because this was like many years ago.
Yeah.
Every paper to see whether there'd been anyone that had seen a UFO.
Yeah.
There was nothing. I thought, okay.
Yeah, a bit of a worry.
I have no idea, but all I can tell you is there was no sound at all.
Okay.
Like normally you hear a helicopter or something.
Yeah.
There was not one sound of that great big light
Look,
in the
Karen,
sky.
Karen, we probably believe you.
As we said, we as the intro states, if you saw a UFO, we'll probably believe you. Charlene and Keilor, you saw a UFO.
I did. I think so. And it's very similar to Karen's story. So I was going in the Otway Ranges, and it was the middle of the night, and I was with my ex at the time, and we were driving, and we both saw this. So suddenly we saw a light on the horizon, and the light was like either side as far as you could see. And then this light just traveled over us. And it didn't last very long, but the light was not like the light that we know. It was like sunlight. It lit up everything.
Okay, so it wasn't like a shooting star.
Yeah.
All right, it was otherworldly.
And it was silent as well. There was no sound.
A couple of correlations in stories.
I mean,
there.
now we sort of, as we said, Area 51, they've been trying to do this for years. In our little short investigation over the last 3 minutes, we've already got red string connecting two stories. Ben, did you have a similar sort of thing?
Yeah, similar, to be honest. Me and the good wife, back in the day when we were romancing, we come outside of the pub at Mornington, looked in the foreground sort of towards Porty area, and in the skyline there would have been about 5 to 7 lights that were just moving like you've never seen before. A plane couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It was like a drone, but it was before drones.
Yeah. They went fast, kind
They
of.
were high, they were lit up, and we're all just going, what is this? And, so we got the taxi home, and I ended up ringing some, because we thought it'd be funny to report it. But apparently there was some, UFO agency reporting place, and they took our call, and, it was weird.
That seems like where you go to die. You go to this agency, and then they kill you because you know too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be careful if I were you, Ben. We're going to send you 6 bottles of Zonzo Estate wine, but don't give us our address over this line, okay? Make sure you change it up. We don't want the government finding out where you are, okay?
Something huge is happening in Brighton right now. We've asked 13 24 10. Give us a buzz if you do live in Brighton, specifically near or on Middle Crescent. The Bachelor, Channel 10. There's 3 Bachelors that have been announced for this year. It's now being shot in Melbourne, in Brighton, and we know which house they're using as the mansion.
Just before we talk about the house itself, it's crazy that they've rolled out another season of The Bachelor. Last year they did the same thing where they did the 3 Bachelors. No one watched it. It tanked. And then they had the run of 3 months or 2 months worth of shows, and they cut it into 3 weeks because nobody cared.
And now double down.
Double down. 3 again. We're going to go again. Maybe they'll watch this time.
I think it'll work this time, guys. Maybe it was the wrong combination for the 3 men.
Well, maybe it needs to be in Brighton. So there's one of these. So there's a house on Middle Crescent in Brighton, which they apparently have chosen. They've started filming. They've put tents up, all of that. If you look at the house, it just looks like a normal house. If you think of The Bachelor, if you've ever seen anything from The Bachelor, that's
I'm
a
sorry
huge
about
mansion.
that. Yeah, it's not a normal house. I mean, what I will say is it's an insane house, but it probably blends into a lot of the homes there in Brighton. And I get what you mean. It's not a manor. It's not something you'd see on The Crown on Netflix or something like that, which is normally what you sort of used to.
And that doesn't surprise me. When last season tanked, they got no money, so they were let's just do it in a 4-bedroom house.
They're probably doing it. It's probably an Airbnb, to be honest. They're probably like, sweet, we got a good deal on this for 2 weeks. Let's get Osher in there and just cram out a few episodes, roll out another season.
Well, Harriet, good morning, Harriet. You've given us a call. So you go to school on Middle Crescent near this house?
I do, yes.
Okay.
Right. And did you know that The Bachelor was being filmed there?
I didn't know The Bachelor was being filmed, but I knew something was being filmed because of all the trucks and the tents.
Okay, so you have noticed a bit of activity around this house.
Absolutely.
Okay, but you haven't seen Osher Ginsburg walking around.
I have not yet, unfortunately.
Okay.
Have you seen anyone walking around with a rose, perhaps?
I haven't? No.
Okay.
Have you seen any women asking you to follow them on Instagram so they can sort of build their profile a bit? Has that happened? Has anyone, harangued you for that?
Unfortunately not, but I'm sure I will in the coming months.
Okay, Harriet, just keep your eyes peeled, okay?
Yeah.
Thanks for the call, Harriet. This house, looking at it, you can see it online. It looks, like I said, and I'll say it again, it just looks like a normal house. I don't know how they're going to fit. Isn't it 30 women or something? This is insane.
It's literally, it looks like a 4-bedroom house.
Yeah, and the dining room is the dining room has a 6-seated table. Where are they all going to sit?
This is exciting. Jim, mate, good morning. You live behind the Bachelor house.
Yeah, yes.
Mate, tell us about it. Have you seen Osher Ginsburg?
Nah, no, I'm sorry. Nah, because I'm on the other side.
Yeah, right. And so, it hasn't disrupted your day too much, Jim, with all the production trucks and the catering and all that sort of caper?
Nah, just like the other caller said, there's a couple of trucks, but nothing specific.
So, Jim, does somebody normally, do you normally have a neighbour that lives in that house and they've moved out for the show, or is it normally an Airbnb?
No.
That's 4 no's.
Yeah,
so
right.
we can't argue with that.
Jim, I'd love to see. Can you pop your head over the fence and try and get in a shot, or try and get in something?
Yeah,
Just walk past and
I'd love that.
Let's get Jim on the show.
Hey, Jim, have you seen any bachelors walking around the area?
And if I do, I wouldn't think they were the bachelors.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, Jim, mate, thanks for getting involved.
No worries.
All right, you take it easy.
Jody, you live in Brighton. Are you pretty close to Middle Crescent, are you?
I am. Not too far away, just around the corner.
Right. And did you know about this? Was this brought up at a council meeting? Was there a letter dropped? Did someone put a letter in saying Osher is coming? Please keep your distance.
Do you know it's been a big secret? No one has mentioned anything.
Oh, okay. Because I would
yeah.
have thought they would. If they're like disrupting the street, they might have. You might even have to get like paid, right? Like I would, if they're going to be, there's going to be big floodlights at all hours, you know.
Oh gosh, okay, major disruption to Brighton.
Yeah, well, Jody, now that you know they're filming The Bachelor there, do you think you might be walking the dog past a couple of times, trying to see if you can keep an eye out for
There's 3
Osher?
of The Bachelors, Jody. Remember that.
I will be seeking out The Bachelors for sure.
Well, Jody, mate, if you see any gossip, if you see any bachelors, you be sure to call us, okay?
I will do so. I'll keep you informed.
Sweet, Jody. You're happy to be our eyes on the ground, yeah?
I will be. Yes, indeed.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Jody, are you single?
I'm not. I'm married.
Just a hurdle, eh?
Do you watch The Bachelor, Jody?
Look, I haven't been a huge fan in the past.
No one does.
However, I'll be watching it this year if it's in Brighton for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they got. Maybe they're trying to just like get suburbs at a time to try and get back onto the show. Jenny joins us now. Jenny, are you out the front of the house at the moment? Is that true?
I'm hiding behind a truck. I think I've caught the suspicion of a dark-haired man.
Yes. Oh dear.
Who's waiting near the front door, and there's a couple of portaloos.
Okay.
I don't think the bachelors will be using those.
No, you wouldn't have thought so.
Use the inside floor. So, Jenny, did you hear us talking about this morning and then you went to investigate?
Yeah, I work nearby, and I said I have to check this out.
Oh, my God. You have to send us an invoice. I feel like we've hired you to go stalk out the house.
Jenny, does it look like they're currently filming?
No, it looks like they're setting up. There's another van that was open, but they've shut it. Oh, the man's opening it up again now. Got flowers, lots of roses.
Roses in the van. They're the bachelor flowers.
Go grab one, Jenny. No,
they probably shut the gate because you were hanging around out the
Well, I
front.
think the guy's like looking at me. They've got like big lights set up.
Yeah, right.
Because there's a
outside the
park.
house.
We've seen, if you look up the house online, there's a park opposite it. So
yeah,
you
I could stoke it out from there.
Yes, you could, Jenny. You could, literally just sit at the park on a bench and just watch them film it.
Jenny, are you going to go to work now? Are you going to get like a sandwich and sit in your car and stake it out?
Well, I work in aged care, and I thought tomorrow we've got the bus, and I thought maybe I could switch some of the bachelors for some of our old gents.
Oh.
I would actually watch that show. Like,
They're doing Golden Bachelor. He's like 70-something.
That's cute.
The golden years.
Yeah. That would be, at least that would be a bit of a mix-up.
Well, Jenny, look, can you promise that if you do get any inside scoops, if you see Osher, if you see any drama, you'll call us first, okay?
As long as the security guard doesn't hook on to me, I'll be fine. I can stoke it out every morning, actually.
Great.
Well,
if I see anything, I'll let you know.
Awesome. This time tomorrow, Jenny, we'll be expecting a call.
Ooh, okay, I'll see what I can find out.
All right, good one, Jenny.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.